Tron is sort of the Socratic ideal of this nerd nostalgia IP cycle that we're sort of stuck in, where the original was not popular, not a hit, not particularly well reviewed at the time, and even people who really enjoy it, like me if we're being honest, will tell you that it's really always been more about the potential of the thing than the actual thing, and even that is kind of stretching it. Like anyone my age who tries to tell you the original Tron actually was groundbreaking, important science fiction outside of the look of it and Wendy Carlos music is really not dealing with the full reality of the thing, or really why it endures or even works in and of itself. There's plenty of early philosophical cyberpunk computer world science fiction that's aged much worse, but actually tried to have actual deeper, more complex things to say, and that's why it's aged worse. What's genuinely fun but also absurd and sort of funny about Tron is that it plays like a self-important, gritty reboot of itself right from the start. You know, like someone's trying to make a dark, no jokes, no laughs, take this serious version of a story that feels like it was not so much conceived by children, but definitely for them in what might have been the original hypothetical text. And that dissonance is what made the original so unique and cool. It's got that unforgettable, nothing else like it before or since, neon lights against endless darkness, 80s arcade cyberworld aesthetic, and all the dialogue and world building is phrased and parsed in this big, portentous language that's supposed to sound Shakespearean or like some Roman Empire bullshit, but mostly just sounds like you're at D&D and your dungeon master just watched Conan for the first time, and now he's way too into his shit this week. But the actual character and plot stuff is exactly at the level of, hey, welcome to Computerland, I'm your pal Petey the Program. Folders are our houses, video games are sports here, the cursor is my car, we've got to rescue Jerry the JPEG from the recycle bin, let's go!
I swear I saw
Digital hallucinations!
You know, like that, but everybody talks like characters in Grant Morrison comics who know their characters in Grant Morrison comics. That's basically the original Tron, which is an insane thing to make a movie out of, which is why it's cool that Disney once spent a bunch of money to do that, even if the result was always going to be more interesting as an experiment than an actual movie. You know, one of those rare but seemingly slightly less rare for a fraction of an eye blink in the early 80s sci-fi fantasy films that feels like it might have been sort of for grown-ups but definitely clicked for the intended audience of arcade-loving video kids, and looks and sounds exactly on the edge of its own moment in time, so pretty much designed to be something that certain audiences like when they watch it but love when they remember it. And since so much of that audience is now both making and writing about films and media today, it's not too surprising that they've spent the intervening 40 plus years trying to get back to that impossible memory, like trying to fall back asleep into a dream.